Rick Strebe,
Here.
Bob Emerson, Michael Kane,
Here.
Sherry Pickering,
Here.
Aaron Troya,
President.
Robert Williams, Chairman Mike Poor,
Present.
seven present.
Okay, 7 present. We do have a quorum. Or is it 7 or 6?
It's 7, I'm here.
Okay, Bob's here now. Okay. All right. Item number 2 is the approval of the minutes from October 13th meeting. Need a motion to approve those. There's no corrections.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 3 is approve the agenda. There are no removals from the agenda. Need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Alderman Strebe, second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Do we have any audience comments? Item number 4.
No, we do not, Chairman.
No audience comments. Thank you. Chairman's comments. I have none at this time. Item number 6 will be approving the payrolls of the November 6th run. Need a motion to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Alderman Strebe, second.
Okay. Questions on the payroll? Okay. Roll call, please.
Hold on, I had a question. I don't have my, I'm sorry.
And I can't see hand signs. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have my hand thing up. It's like in full mode here.
Okay, Alderman Troglia.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this. I mean, again, we're at 44,000 in overtime for the fire department. When is their contract renew? I don't know if the mayor or Ashland Madison or the comptroller can tell me that.
It renew next year.
In March or?
No, it ends April 30th of next year.
Okay. I mean, I think this is ridiculous. I mean, we're at 44,000 in overtime, and less than 1,000 of it is recall fire. Almost all the rest is just recall manning. I mean, we got a shot, I think we need to get minimum manning reduced. But, I mean, their overtime's out of control. That's all I've got.
I've got my hand up.
Chairman, it looks like Alderman Pickering is.
And again, I'm sorry. I'm not the host, so I don't see anybody's hands.
Okay, that's okay. I just noticed on the news the other night, Springfield is having the same trouble, and they said all the cities, and not all, the majority of the cities in Illinois are having this same trouble because of the COVID. So that's why we're having one of these big overtimes. So we're not alone.
Okay, I see Alderman Troglia raise his hand up again.
Actually, I did see that Springfield was having the same problem. But we don't have the problem in the police department. I mean, we've only got $9,000 we've had like tremendously amount of more COVID cases, I understand, in the fire department and the police. And
Correct.
The police have way more contact with the public. I don't get, 44,000 is ridiculous in overtime.
But we also have people rooming with each other.
Well, I can't believe it would cause that big of a difference, but
Yeah.
Alderman Stone, did you have something?
No.
Okay. Again, like I say, I don't have the opportunity to see hands, so there's no other questions on the payrolls. Roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Troya,
yes.
Williams,
Alderman Williams, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We couldn't hear you, no, sir.
No.
Now we
Strebe,
can.
Alderman
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
Chairman Poor,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. Item number 7 is approval of the vouchers payable. These will be from the November 10th run. Need a motion to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second, okay.
Okay, questions on the payable? Okay, I see your hand, Mike. Go ahead.
You gotta get to the right page. Page 3 of 8, top third down, DTI Office Solutions. We buy a $25,000 copy machine.
Yes, we purchased 2 of those, Alderman. That's actually part of the COVID CARES package that we brought to you all for approval. I think it was last month. We have 2, pardon.
And because that's exempt from the $20,000 rule.
You've already approved this previously. I said you previously approved this. When we approved all the expenditures for the CARES money, you actually approved this previously. So it's not anything new.
I guess, okay.
Did the comptroller, was she weighing in?
Yes.
I was just gonna say the same thing that Mayor said. This went through council and was approved as part of the amendment to the IT budget. And I can grab that resolution number.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay. And again, like I said, I don't know if anyone else.
Contribution.
Does anyone else have a comment? I can't see hands, so I don't.
No one has their hand raised, Chairman.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, that's his hand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay, Alderman. Okay.
I am having a hard time getting the participant thing with the hands and everything on the screen tonight. Is everybody having the same problem?
I don't have it either, but okay.
Yes.
Agnell, do you have any advice for them?
Click on the more button.
If you click on the more button, it's there underneath the participants.
Is it in there?
Oh, there, I got it.
Yeah, it's the bottom left, which says raise hand, but again, I don't see the hands because I'm not the host.
Well, I lose everything when I do that. I mean, I get a screen with my name on and stuff, but
So you get out of full screen mode, Mike. Minimize so you're not in full screen, and that'll show the participants on the right hand side of the monitor. You don't want to be in gallery view, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You want to be.
okay. You can be in gallery view because I am. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Alderman.
Okay. All right. Hearing no other discussion, roll call, please.
Alderman Kane,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Streeting,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes. Thank you. Item number 8, Director Beath, items of information in the monthly report. I know you had a little surgery this past week and will be out of the office for several weeks, but we appreciate you being on. And do you have anything to tell us?
Well, first of all, I apologize for not getting that report turned in. I was so focused on trying to get all my other things done before I left the office, I completely forgot about the committee reports again. So I hope everyone got that. I emailed it out, Saturday maybe? I don't remember. So if you didn't get one and you're interested in getting an update, I can certainly email that again. And not much to report. I mean, the same routes are running. We've been just minimally affected by the COVID. And, it's been a little spread out to the point where it's not affecting service right now. I've already talked to the mayor about, if it gets ugly real quick, that we could, make some service reductions to try and be able to cover all the service. Another thing that we really need to take into consideration is maybe going back to charging fares, because that is a huge hit to our budget every year. And we've gone through that CARES money pretty quickly, the operating portion of it at least. So, we need to reconsider and maybe if nothing else, maybe charging for just the champagne service, because, you know, that will cut down on the number of people going back and forth that really have no reason to go back and forth. But I'll have to check on the legalities of charging for one route and not another. But the only thing that we found out since the last time is our triennial review will now be held virtually like everything else is, which, you know, it's kind of a mixed blessing. I mean, it's hard to give them the information that they need electronically, but it's also not better. I want to be careful how I say this. It's easier than having them going through the files in your office for 2 days. So, you know, it will, the outcome will all be the same. It'll just be done a little bit differently. So, and then the facilities, the maintenance and facilities supervisor, I've had several interviews. I had to set up one for after I come back. And it's quite likely that we have a candidate that, you know, that could potentially fill the position. So that's looking good, and I hope to get that taken care of by the 1st of December. So that's all I have.
Director Beef, I think you forgot some other great news that you shared with me recently.
Well, I can't really share that yet because they haven't made the announcement. So
I'm sorry.
I have to wait until I can't steal their thunder, you know.
Forgive me. I thought that they already had. Excuse me, but Chairman, we do have some really good news coming soon.
That's good. I do see Alderman Trogley has his hand up.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Do we did they just stop doing fairs for COVID, or have they always not done fairs? I haven't really paid attention.
No, it was definitely just for COVID. In
Okay.
fact, that was the first step we took. We didn't reduce any service. We just stopped collecting fares because that cut down on the time that people lingered right by the driver at the fare box. So that was the first and easiest step. And it's not the only thing that we haven't resumed yet. So
Okay, thank you.
The director, you did purchase the sanitizing machine and things, and
yeah, I talked to Carl, and he was pleased with the purchase. So we actually bought 2 of them. We bought one for the transfer facility because since we've opened it back up, there's a lot of the public are coming and going a lot down there. So I want to make sure that gets sanitized. Probably not every night, but at least every other night, and the same with the buses. So it's nice to have that and not have to pay or rely on an outside company to come in and do that. So
sure.
I hope it's something we never have to use again after this year, but whatever.
Yeah.
We can spray weeds with it if nothing else, I suppose.
Okay. Alderman Trogley, you have another question, or?
I forgot to put my hand down.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you, Director, and glad to see you're in good spirits and feeling better. Okay, moving on to item number 9, Public Works, Director Carpenter. We have 9A, a resolution appropriating funds for the Ferndale Avenue Pavement Stabilization Resurfacing Project. Need to motion to put that on the table, please.
Alderman Streaming will make a
Green
motion.
second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Questions? Director, do you have anything?
I have a question.
Yeah, Alderman Pickering.
I'm sorry. I don't have my hand on.
Okay, well, I didn't see a hand.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have my hand turned on. So the amount is 750,000. Is that right, Carl?
That's correct. That's what we're going to appropriate. With any luck, we had a discussion last week about this, is that with any luck, that this will end up coming in under budget like the last few projects have.
Okay. I know it's needed. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Alderman O'Kane.
Well, what is the project? I understand stabilization. Are we putting curbs in, sidewalks in, sewers? I know you got water problems in that area. Are we going to address that, or are we just going to stabilize the road?
No, they're going to address all of the drainage issues as well. I'm not sure yet because, as you see here, they're finalizing the plans. I don't think it's going to be curbs. It'll probably, in likelihood, be V gutters.
Say that again, please.
It's probably not going to be curbs, but V gutters instead.
V gutters?
Yeah.
Yes.
The gutters.
They're all like you see up in Holiday Hills. That's all V gutters up there.
Well, I thought we decided those were terrible. Okay. And what is the scheduling, hopefully, for next year?
Yes.
I mean, like,
Until we see the actual plans, as you see on here, they're finishing that up. I can't tell you exactly when that would start. We would
Okay.
hope, in all likelihood, spring or early summer.
okay. Thank you.
I don't see any other hands. Anyone else have any questions for Director Carpenter? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pickering,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Streaming,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. If there's no objection, I'd like to take 9B through D together, dealing with the Western Gateway TIF district and things. 9B is a resolution approving the Western Gateway TIF RIP grant application. 9C is a resolution approving the budget amendment in the Western Gateway TIF District Fund number 122. And 9D is a resolution approving the Western Gateway TIF redevelopment agreement with Joseph Urbana Investments LLC. If there's no objection, I take all three of those together.
Alderman Strubing, I'll approve.
Pickering, second.
Okay. Logan, you want to tell us about this or?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Thanks. So essentially what this is moving a sanitary line that's currently under the property that they're going to accept the address of 1 North Logan Avenue. It sits on 4 parcels there on Logan and East Main on the corner next to the gas station. I'm going to try to regurgitate some information from Engineer Cole. So that sanitary line would have been underneath the proposed building. It runs down a vacated alley and then under the site. And the idea is to move that line, vacate that line, and take it over to Logan Avenue and then down the street. So the line isn't under that property any longer. These TIF agreements, all the grant, which is capped at $50,000, and then the redevelopment agreement would just be covering the utilities cost, nothing into the actual property itself. And the reason behind that was we know that the cold weather is coming and they're on an extremely tight timeline. They wanted to get the foundation at least poured before the winter, because I think OSF is putting a pretty tight time crunch on them. And yeah, so it's 100% reimbursed, because this is a project that typically the city, I believe, covers. But to expedite the timeline, we thought of this to be a good option.
Okay, because last month we talked about, we had a 50,000 max for the development downtown. The fact this has a redevelopment agreement and things is why we're able to give extra funding.
Correct. So the $50,000 cap is as you see it, and then the redevelopment agreement is to cover the other $67,000, and that will be only paid back after that property is reassessed, and they are paying. They'll only receive reimbursement after they receive a tax increment from their improvements.
Okay. And then just what is the acronym RIP?
I believe it's a redevelopment incentive program.
Okay. I was trying to figure or recall what that meant, and I just said, okay. I see 2 hands up. Vice Mayor Iverson.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on how that's funded again with the reimbursement, and they get it when? Can you run that through again, Logan?
Yeah, so the RIP grant is funded in full after the completion of the project, and they receive a certificate of occupancy. And they will only be funded at that percentage based on their invoices that they provide that they've paid. So the city is at no liability. We will not be cutting a check up front, only until the improvements are made. The redevelopment agreement is paid after the county assessor, the township assessor, reassesses the site, and they're only reimbursed based on the EAV improvements. There's a base EAV of $35,000 of the 4 parcels, and we're assuming just based on other OSFs in the region, it'll get EAV around 250, 200,000. So they'll receive the difference of roughly $150,000 to $200,000 on the tax rate, if that makes sense.
Okay, so we're basically, after they get the full tax bill, that's when this amount kicks in, and it's reducing their tax. It's sort
Yeah,
of like
it's
a tax increment thing.
it's an abatement essentially to their
Yeah.
tax bill. Yeah, and it's only going to be, we're projecting within 2 years, and then it'll be 100% paid in full, and then all the rest of the profits will go into the TIF throughout the life of it.
And
Okay.
the
It could be
construction
repaid.
cost,
I'm not sure how that gets repaid in 2 years. I'm lost again.
but Logan, the construction cost has to be over $1 million, correct?
It will be over $1 million. That's what they're projecting.
Yeah.
It does not have to be, but this project will.
Okay. It's like under 3 developers redevelopment obligation, total construction costs of not less than 1 million.
Yeah, that's a low ball compared to the numbers that they've been shooting us. That's a safe amount.
Okay. Vice Mayor Iverson, do you have another question?
Who?
Chairman, can I maybe clarify something? I think the vice mayor, would that be acceptable?
Yes.
Please.
Vice Mayor, what happens is that right now, the property, those 4 parcels the property value, I think, is $35,000. So we only receive property tax on that $35,000. However, we projected the EAV will go up to, you say 200 or a $250,000, Logan?
Correct.
So we will be and the city will receive, because it's in a TIF, we will receive all the difference in that improvement. So essentially, from the money in increased taxes, we'll pay their incentive. And then after we've paid their incentive, the increase perpetually goes back into that TIF fund in order to fund other projects. Does that make a little more sense?
Yes, so basically the idea is we give them some money up front and we'll make that more than back over the years through the increased taxes of that land. Okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Alderman O'Kane.
Just a couple questions go along with everything. Way I read it, this Joseph Urban LLC will be the owner of the property and OSF will just be a tenant.
Yeah, to our understanding, that's correct.
Okay, so that makes it a totally taxable situation, I assume.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, Alderman Troglia.
Well, that was my question. If a non-for-profit was there, I mean, if we weren't going to get property taxes, would they still be eligible for this?
They would not be. I believe it's illegal to provide not-for-profits TIF incentives.
Okay, so it's really a person developing and then renting it to a non-for-profit. So
That's correct.
okay, alrighty, that's what I need. Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any more hands. Roll call, please.
Alderman Troya,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Streeting,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 9E is a resolution amending the Historic Preservation Commission design criteria. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
We had Alderman Pickering and who else?
Alderman Troya, he seconded, I believe.
Okay,
Yes, that's correct.
okay, questions? I see Alderman Trolley, you have your hand up.
I keep forgetting to put it down.
Oh. Okay, who wants to talk about this one?
Vice Chairman Streeting has a
I
question.
think this is a pretty good idea because, over the years, they've been pretty hard on the people moving in out there. So this will help a lot, relax some of the problems that we've had in the past. So I will be voting for this.
All right.
I don't see any other hands for questions.
Alderman Pickering.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just, I guess, how do we know what was originally on there to compare? Is there a comparison, or I know sometimes they underline what they changed and, you know,
I can talk about the changes really quickly.
okay.
So basically, this is a little more user-friendly, the design guide overall. Chapter 1 is going to refer back to Chapter 160 of the City Code. Chapter 2 kind of corresponds with Chapter 160 as well, and it just expands on the goals of the Historic Preservation Commission in general. Chapter 3 is new because it provides a list of all of the buildings that have landmark status within the city. And then Chapter 4, it's going to incorporate the entire design guide from 1990. I apologize that I didn't add that, I guess, to the agenda. But in Chapter 4, letter A, number 8, vital siting is allowed with approval by the commission. Whereas before, I don't believe they allowed vinyl siding. But this is a little more cost effective, which is why they wanted to bring that to the table. In Chapter 4, letter A, number 14, it refers back to Chapter 150, where it talks about the treatment of the accessory buildings for historic districts. And then the last part about it would be Chapter 4, letter B, where it talks about the alterations and additions. In the previous design guide, they wanted those additions to be clearly differentiated from the historic building. And with this design guide, they want those additions to be a visual complement to the historic buildings that are already in the area.
Thank you.
Chairman Mike Alderman Strebe and I really support this because right now you can get some vinyl siding that has various grains and stuff in it that looks exactly like wood. So you could replicate the character of that building for substantially lesser costs. But again, the commission would have to approve this. But I think it would help some of our folks who have older homes, and also it would help some of our folks decide to go on the historic register of homes because they know that they have possible affordable options.
Right. And would this also cover vinyl windows or replacement windows if they meet the criteria?
Yes.
Okay. Because that was a no-no before too in the Lincoln Park district. Okay, anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
4,
Yes,
7 yes.
7 yes, thank you. 9F, item of information, Director Carpenter.
We don't have anything on DATS. H&L landfill still in limbo with state, EPA. Project updates, we're continuing to sweep leaves. Today we were in the Lincoln Park area and picked up over 6 tons of leaves just today alone. And 2 hours later, you can't tell we touched the area. That's normal this time of year, but we are averaging right at 5 or 6 tons of collection every day right now for the last 4 or 5 days. Next week, we will be doing a budget amendment in the Parks Department. Apparently, there was an oversight when Ambucks donated the money to the city last year for the playground update at Winter Park. They donated $44,920.65. A PO never actually got made for that amount. Therefore, that money at the end of the year stuck into the reserves. And that company just now is catching up with Ambucks because they didn't get paid from them.
They didn't do this.
They were supposed to bill us and they didn't bill us. They notified Steve Lane of that on Monday and he got that taken care of with them. So they will be sending us a bill and we will be bringing you a budget amendment to get that money put back into line item 530313, which is maintenance materials to maintain other, and that'll cover the cost of that playground equipment. And that's just an item of information I want to make everybody aware of that that we'll be seeing next week. And that is what it's for.
Thank you.
Other than that, I will be out of town for the next 4 to 5 days. I will be back Monday. Any issues, I'm going to encourage everybody to get a hold of Dave Ruby or Sam Cole.
Looks like Vice Mayor Iverson has his hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Carl, I did 5 tons of leaves in my yard alone. I don't know what's talking to you guys. I did want to tell the public works people, because of my leaves, I've had 2 times to visit the yard waste site on Liberty Lane. And those on public works, if you've never gone out and visited that, you really should. That's a very interesting little agreement and facility that we have there. Everybody was very nice to me and helped me dump all my leaves in my big trailer. So you really should go out and just see what they've got there. It's an interesting operation.
Well, thank you. And one last thing, Alderman Williams, my fellow veteran, happy Veterans Day tomorrow, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate that. To all the veterans.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Okay, thank you, Director. Alderman Iverson, do you have another question or?
No, I didn't take my hand down. Sorry.
Okay, moving on to item number 10, information technology. Administrator De Silva, we have 10A, a resolution authorizing a 2-year agreement with AT&T for the POTUS lines. You most put that on the table, please.
Alderman Stribing, make the motion.
Okay.
Second, Iverson.
Well, I guess it says POTS line, POTS. Okay.
Yeah, POTUS is different.
Well,
If we could do a direct line, that would be okay.
Those are plain old telephone lines.
Okay, any questions for Administrator De Silva? Okay.
Alderman O'Kane has a question.
Just a quick question. Remind me what these are. Are these going to the lift stations and things like that?
Yes, we have several of them for the lift stations. We have some for the alarm lines and traffic signals.
And traffic signals, okay.
That's great.
Hopefully, Wi-Fi and stuff will kick in the near future so we can eliminate that cost. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing no hands or roll call, please.
Alderman Strebe?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
O'Kane?
Yes.
Pickering?
Yes.
Troya?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Said yes.
7 yes.
Okay, 7 yes. Administrator De Silva, any items of information?
No other items of information, Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Chairman Agnell is always too humble, but I just want to thank and congratulate him and Aaron and our intern and Adam for all the work that they've done, getting the cameras installed in all the cars, taking our body cams live, making sure that our community cameras are operating, as well as getting a lot of COVID-related things installed. They have really been busting home to make sure that we're safe and secure in Danville, and I'm awfully proud of it.
Okay, no, Agnell, I just did something to my.
I'd like to make a comment.
Oh, there we are.
I got a comment.
Okay.
I just want to thank him. Agnell came over to yesterday. My wife couldn't get the internet to work, and he came over and because Comcast couldn't get out there to Wednesday, and he came out there and he went above and beyond and fixed my internet to get it working for tonight's meeting. And
Great.
my wife was super impressed with him.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, item number 11, there is no need for closed session. Item 12, items of information. Okay. Alderman Trolia, did you have something or?
Just ignore me.
Okay. And then item number 13, committee members' comments. Alderman O'Kane.
Oh, is this where I come in? Okay, I just got a question with the alderman. There's a few things been going on in the city. There's some rules and ordinances and stuff that we've written. I don't know if we're still using it or not. I know that the hours for set outs for large set out and stuff gets put around the set outs and the get set out without permission and stuff like that. I just don't know if we're following the rules or if we should twerk those rules around. You know, I get upset about seeing all the illegally parked cars stacked up in backyards and stuff like that, and just wish there's things we could do about that. And we had like a nuisance. We set up an ordinance a couple years ago where we counted nuisances, and after so long, the city could dictate to these properties. I just want to know if these things are working. If they're not working, I'd like to have some discussion in the future about making things work. I don't like to see an ordinance or a law set up and then we have to ignore it because it's just not working. That's my only comment.
Well, regarding the nuisance properties, I can tell you, one of the issues that we've had, Alderman O'Kane, is when we were closed for, I guess it was for almost 5 months because of COVID, that backed up all of our court cases a lot. So we weren't able to get the kind of results that we normally have been under Council Bachby's leadership. Regarding the nuisance properties, I can tell you we actually have, I shouldn't laugh, but we have someone with a warrant out for their arrest right now, actually, for repeated violations. And so we are using every tool that's available to us, but as you and I have discussed many times, unfortunately, sometimes it takes much longer than you'd ever hope for to get any kind of resolution or movement. And then even when you do get a judgment in the court of law, you don't always get action.
Well, I understand that, and that's why I want to know if the way they're written isn't working for the city, maybe we should have some discussion and tweak some of these rules. I know that when I turn a complaint in, sometimes, and I know there's been numerous complaints on that property. It sounds like they're starting all over each time, and I was under the assumption that after one complaint on a property, the next time they show up, it is a violation and can cost them. But it seems like we're starting all over on a lot of these times. So, I'm just curious what's going on and if any of the other aldermen have any concerns like this.
Alderman Troglia.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, I think, 3 in the last 3 months on abandoned or non-working cars. I have been able to get them to move them, but right now we still can't evict, and that's not a health and safety thing. So, I mean, on those, I don't have any personally, but the landlord's hands are tied on that. Like, we can't just evict them for it now. It's crazy still, but I mean, on some of these issues, I mean, I don't know really what we're supposed to do, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is Alderman Strabing. I've got a problem with one out in Saratoga Street, and I turned it in about 2 or 3 months ago. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of idea on who owns it or runs it, but this gentleman slapped some quick felt paper up there, and he's got a family buying it on contract from him. And I got news for you: that roof is not going to make it over the winter. And we even had one of our inspectors go out, and he said there was nothing he could do because they had already covered it up. So, these guys are shystering their way around different things, and you're going to have this poor family. They're probably paying pretty good money for it, and they're probably going to end up losing it. And this guy's made money all this time because he didn't fix the roof.
Alderman Troglia, question?
No, I don't. But
Okay. I don't see any other hands.
Alderman Streeting, will you either email me or give me a shout and let me so we can follow up on that?
Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow's Veterans Day, so I won't be here.
I'll give you a call. Okay. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Again,
Alderman Pickering, Chairman.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just like to personally thank Carl and Alderman Williams for their service and all of the other military members out there. Thank you very much.
Yes, and I think we all echo that. And 11th day, 11th hour, 11 months. We need to all remember that tomorrow. Okay, Alderman O'Kane.
Carl's still there. Garbage pickup this week.
Yes, we're just running one day behind. We will be working Friday this week.
Okay, so no pickup Veterans Day.
No pickup tomorrow, but we'll.
That's
pick up
what I
Thursday
assumed,
and
but I
Friday.
just let the public know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Alderman Strebe.
Yes, sir.
I've just got to give a happy birthday wish. I have a neighbor next door to me. He's been my neighbor for almost 31 years. She just hit 92 years old today. It's Betty D. I'm not going to give her last name, but her first name's Betty. But just a happy birthday to her.
I might know her, huh, Rick?
I think you do.
Chairman, also, in honor of veterans, unfortunately, they're not doing many things tomorrow because of COVID-19. And a lot of our veterans, in this community are older folks. And so we want to make sure we protect them. However, Liberty Village of Danville is having a drive-through Veterans Day parade for veterans up in Liberty Village. So that's going to happen tomorrow at 3. And they're asking between 2:30 and 2:45 that folks line up in the Turtle Run parking lot. Again, line up at 2:30 to 2:45 in the Turtle Run parking lot. And at 3 o'clock, they will be going across to do a drive-through for all the veterans that are there at Liberty Estates. So I wanted to make sure that the community knew about that.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Alderman Poor, I just wanted to let you know that I think it might be the same person, but she's 92 years old. So.
Okay. Having satisfied the agenda, I need a motion for adjournment, please.
Alderman Strebe, so moved for adjournment.
Dick Green, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Everybody have a great evening, and remember the veterans tomorrow.
Stay safe, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Aye.